Good morning. I've been feeling this video for, I don't know, a week or two now. And mom kind of confirmed it on Wednesday when she mentioned one of my failures. So, um, that's what I want to say today. You are not a failure, okay? No matter how you feel about yourself, you're not a failure. So, since it's like Halloween-ish, I'm, skeletons. So I'm just going to share some skeletons that are in my closet. And hopefully this helps somebody, because this is like real talk, like stuff that I've never shared with anybody, not even my closest friends. So, high school. I liked high school. But and I did well. I graduated with like a 3.9, but I didn't, I could have been top 10 if I wanted to. I just did not apply myself my senior year. I was like, I'm enjoying this. I had 3 study halls, choir, home ec, government, and honors English were my real classes. Everything else skated through. And I don't regret it. But thankfully, sophomore year, OGT, I passed first time. So thankful for that. Then ACT time, I took that test 3 times and got a 20 every time. I would go up in a subject and down in a subject, and I was infuriated, and I felt stupid. I'm like, I am not stupid. Why am I doing this? So I just gave up. I'm like, it is what it is. And then, I would get so mad at my brother saying he could care less, and he's just like, this was his motto: I know it or I don't know it. So multiple choice, choop, 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 done. Within 5 minutes, he was out the room, And I'm like the last one in the room. But yeah. And then I failed my temps test. Just so you know, coffee does not get rid of a hangover. Sleep does. Why that was a question on a temps test, I literally have no idea. But I missed that one because in the movies, they always drink coffee. So missed that. Failed my driver's test. Almost failed it the second time. There was a second officer in the backseat. He was training, and I was just ready to cry, and I was absolutely terrified. So I passed by like 5 points. What else have I done? I think that was it for high school. Actually, well, I could have had all A's. I had 1 B, and I was in Mr. Money's class because I'm like, I don't care about this paper. It was a research paper, and I got like a D on it. And I was like, Mr. Mundy, this was a great paper. And he's like, it's a research paper, and you had 1 source. And I'm like, but it was a good source. So that dropped me down. And then Mrs. Raber's class, senior year, I totally misunderstood the assignment, but she was gracious enough to like give me another try. But it gave me like a C, I think. So that dropped my average. But I think those were my only failures in high school. Then college hit. So freshman year, I really didn't want to go to college. Mom was like, you need to go to college. So I went. I just didn't care. I could have had all A's my freshman year, and I was just like a B average. And then I was undecided, so I had to take this test where it's like what you should do with your life, and they're like, you should be a teacher. And I was like, whatever. So I tried it, and we had to take this test. This is when I was at Walsh. I went to Walsh my freshman year. So I was the second person in all of Walsh history to fail this test. Oh, and I lied about it. Totally lied. They're like, was it you? Was it you? Because there's like 9 of us in the class. I'm like, no, it's not me. It was me. It was me. Which everybody essentially knew, because then I transferred schools. So they're probably like, oh, Sarah Love. That's not why I transferred. Malone came in and gave me more money. So I was like, bye, new start. And my brother went there. So Joe and I just follow in his footsteps. So we transfer to Malone. So I'm trying to make up credits because I'm like, I'm not going to school for 5 years. So I loaded myself, and these were hard classes, like hard for me. And I was junior year, I think I was on the verge of academic probation. And I studied, I tried, I did everything I could, and I was not doing well. So no, I didn't do too bad. But I graduated with like a B average. So that was actually, that was good for me because it was not looking good. So a few years later, I like self-diagnosed myself as having test anxiety. Because I did, like, anything that applied pressure, I failed at. And because I would get into my head, like, you're not going to do it. And so I, like, when I went to take my driver's test, I just said I had an appointment because I was like, if I fail this, that's going to be one of the most embarrassing things. And I did. So I was just there, just like, oh, how'd your appointment go? And I was like, oh, it was all right. I'm good. So, and I wasn't lying because it really was an appointment. So after college, I work in home health care. I didn't pursue my license because of the fear. Well, actually, I didn't even really want to be a social worker. I do care about people despite what it looks like now. But I do have a heart for people. And I was scared. I was like, if I fail this test, that's like hundreds of dollars down the drain. And then I did not want to do like adoption stuff. All of my internships were like grassroots, so I was like playing around with kids and special needs, So I was like, I'm not qualified to even work in an office. I wouldn't even know the first thing. So I was scared about that. So I go into home health care. I did that for 6 years. And everyone is like thriving around me, and my little brother got engaged, and I wanted to be married so bad. Like, that was like a top priority in my life. So when he did, I was so happy for him. But I was like, I'm done. So anybody that gave me attention, I went with it. And 2 definitely went to jail. Not on my watch, but afterwards I found that out. I compromised a lot to stay in relationships, only to find out that I was the side chick. Literally, probably 99% of this 9 to 10 year span. They didn't care about me, and I cared about them. But and I can't even say a relationship is like a fling. So that sets me back. Man, and I didn't move out till I was like 30 because I couldn't afford it. And I wasn't going to put myself in a position where, even though my car was paid off, maybe I'd have to sell my car, things like that. I'm like, I'm not doing that, So my 10-year reunion, they're like, oh, where you at? I'm like, still at home. Yay. But, it is what it is. So the last 5 years, it's almost 6 years now, been on my own, doing well, making that money. My loans have been paid off for 8 years, just about 8 years. And I worked hard. So all of these entitled little brats that think that the American people should pay for your loans, who are you? Who are you to say that? I worked hard. I worked like a lot of hours, sacrificed a lot. Maybe you should actually learn what hard work is. That's not what I'm talking about today. But, so if you feel like you've been a failure, you're not. Maybe things haven't worked out. Maybe You failed tests. You didn't graduate high school. You've been divorced. You've been divorced 2 or 3 times. You had a baby when you were a teenager. But you know what? Good for you. Good for you that you kept that baby. You know why? Because it's probably the greatest thing that ever happened to you. And I know you love your child. So good for you for doing the right thing. There's just so many scenarios where maybe you feel like a failure, but you're not a failure. You are still breathing. You're still breathing, and there's still time to change things. There's still time. So keep your head up. Do not let the devil get into your head where he's just like, you're never going to be good enough. You're never going to change. You're never going to get out of here. Blah, 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 blah. That's all it is blah, 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 blah. Don't let him get into your head. Shut it down. Shut the thoughts down. Maybe you weren't raised in church. Maybe you're not a Christian. All you got to do, Lord, take my life and do something with it. And he'll do it. As long as you're willing, if you ask big, you're going to get a big, I don't know what the one, I don't even know what I want to say, but you'll get it. Ask big things, you'll get it. So I do expect, I'm not getting, the feedback, with these videos like maybe I want, but you know what? It's all right. I'm going to keep at it. And I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because I really felt like I was supposed to do this. So in due time, we'll make it big. But start small, finish big. You're not a failure. So if you've stayed with me this whole time, I know it's going on 13 minutes, but you can do it. You can do it. You can change your circumstance. You just have to make the choice. And you're not a failure. And God loves you no matter what. No matter what you did, he loves you. Okay? And I love you. So you have a great day.